You're listening to Pro Booth Talk, education and insights for photo booth company owners.
All right, welcome back to Pro Booth Talk. Laugh, looks like you are on location today.
Yep, I'm live at an event setting up today, so Huntington Beach today.
Nice. Speaking of location, we've got Huntington Beach, and we've got a few other locations that we're not usually talking with. We've got Stephen and Peter with us today. Gentlemen, if you want to each independently introduce yourselves and let us know where you're from. Peter.
Yeah, good evening. Nice to see you both. Well, all of you now. So I'm based in the UK on the south coast, actually. South coast of England, about an hour and a half out to London. If you'll know Southampton, everybody knows Southampton, right? Everybody's heard of that because that's where the Titanic sailed from. So I'm right next to Southampton, pretty much opposite the port which Titanic left from, and on what is known as the New Forest side. So Southampton on one side and the New Forest on the other, right on the coast. So yeah, that's where I'm based.
Perfect. And Stephen.
So UK based, about an hour outside of London, just in Surrey, up on the Hog's Back.
Perfect. So we've got a couple of people from outside of London with us today because we're talking about, previously known as PBX London, but what's the official name now? Is it PBX Europe? PBX?
Yeah, I started as PBX Europe, but just happened to be held in London, really. And then that was the first year. And then the following year, we moved it to PBX London to differentiate it slightly because we knew we were going to be moving into mainland Europe. So for this year, it goes back to the PBX Europe name. I don't think we really kind of thought it through straight away. We just launched it and thought this is going to be PBX Europe because it addresses all of Europe. But pretty much everybody in Europe went, but it's not in Europe. Which is quite hilarious, really, because politically, maybe not in Europe, but geographically, most definitely we are part of the European continent. So it's a bit like people always refer to the United States of America as America, certainly on this side of the pond. So they say, the American president. Well, he's the president of the United States of America rather than the president of America because he's not president of, he'd like to be the president of Canada, probably. Not Brazil. Sorry, a little in joke there, but not the president of Brazil or Chile and so on. So it's the same thing, really. In much the same way that the USA is part of America. England, really, UK, United Kingdom, we really are part of Europe, but maybe not politically. So
yeah, makes sense. So essentially, if you held the American PBX in Mexico, it technically is in America, but it would confuse people.
Yes. But we call that one PBX International. So yeah. It's it's a great question, but it's very much really for me. It's always been in my heart. It's always been PBX Europe because it's held in Europe. And we were always aiming to have a PBX on the European side of the pond, really. And Amsterdam is the first year where we're going to be in the mainland.
Beautiful. So I assume the reason for your existence over there is just a wider reach, just because it's so hard for so many people to come to the PBX Vegas over here, and it just make it more accessible for people.
Well, we back in 2019 and leading up to 2019, there was a UK photo booth show which used to take place in the middle of the UK, and it was fairly successful, but limited by being in the middle of the UK, outside of London. And then, of course, as we all know, in 2020, COVID happened. And that show didn't happen. It didn't happen in 21. And in 22, we were still waiting to hear something. Steve and I, we operate in the DJ world primarily, or certainly we have done for, decades really. But we also have photo booth operations. And we run an organization over here that is for DJs. But as part of that, we were sitting there going, like, what's happening? There isn't any photo booth show this side of the pond at all, and there really, really should be, because it's a big deal in Europe, across the UK, but also in Europe. And we got to this point where you think, well, nobody's doing anything, nobody's running any show, nothing's going on, something needs to happen. Who's going to do something about it? And eventually, it dawned on us that that might be us. So we considered potentially reaching out to the owner of the previous show. We considered just setting up our own thing from scratch. But at this point, we already knew Rob quite well, and I thought then that the right thing to do would be talk to Rob about the potential of running a PBX show over here under the PBX banner, under his license. And just thought it was an idea worth floating. I mean, at the end of the day, we could have scratched around and really worked hard to put on our own show. But in the back of your mind is Rob going to suddenly decide to have his own show in Europe, and then he rides into town with the PBX brand, and boom, we're gone. So we thought it's just worth an initial conversation. And both of our delights, Rob was immediately open to it, immediately liked the idea, and really, really wanted to do it. So for the main PBX brand, probably you could say it's a bit more about reach, about extending outside the shores of the USA. But for us, it was really something needed to happen over here. And it just came down to us in the end. So, yeah, that's kind of the background, really.
So do either of you have conference in your background? Have either of you done conferences before, as far as like setting them up, like ran conferences?
Yeah. So the organization that Steve and I own and run is called Pro Mobile, and it's primarily a magazine for the mobile DJ world. Been going for over 20 years, really, really popular. And as part of that, we run a conference as well. And that's for professional DJs to attend, full seminar days. We get exhibitors in. And we've been doing that for quite a bit. But Steve and I, we've also got, as part of our own businesses, we've got production companies that will run conferences, seminars, those kind of days, pretty much anything like that people are prepared to hire us for other people. So it's our world. We know the world really, really well. So we had the right background. In fact, Rob had attended 2 of our conferences prior to us even having a conversation about PBX. So he'd kind of been and seen what we were about and the kind of show that we put on. And I think that probably was mostly why he immediately agreed that it would be a good idea if we ran PBX over here. Because, of course, he can't really do both easily.
Not easily, but I feel like sometimes he might be cloned. I feel like every conference I'm at, I run into Rob, and I don't know how he can be at so many conferences.
Yeah. The guy turns up at everything. I mean, the first photo show I went to was in the middle of the UK, in a town which most people in the UK would describe as pretty much the middle of the UK and therefore the middle of nowhere, really. And yeah, I bumped into Rob and started talking to him, and then found out that he was the guy behind PBX in Las Vegas.
How long ago was this?
That was, I want to say that was 17 or 18. And I'm trying to think whether I'd actually been out to Las Vegas or not. I don't think I had been to Vegas at that point when I first, so it must have been 17.
2017.
My first year going, it must have been. My first year of going to Las Vegas was 2018. So, yeah.
So I've heard from Lap a lot because she attended last year.
Yeah.
What, to you guys, what is the primary difference between PBX Vegas and PBX Europe? And as far as, as far as everything, scale, delivery, education, is it essentially just a clone of the same show, or is there, can people expect something different?
So great question. And there's quite a lot to that, really. So in terms of scale, it's not as big as Las Vegas. We have to put that out there straight away, because it is still pretty much in its infancy. That said, that brings benefits, really. It brings a more relaxed feel. It's not as hectic. It kind of just is a little bit of a slower pace.
Which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, she's expressed that a lot.
Yes.
How intimate it is.
I can't stress that enough, because before I went, in my mind, I'm hearing, okay, it's smaller. Why would I want to go to something smaller when Vegas is so big? And I can't stress enough when Peter said it's in its infancy. That is to your benefit. It's to your benefit that it is in its infancy, because you're able to connect with people that you would not be able to connect with when you're in Vegas. Like me and Jason, we're really lucky. We joined the industry really early on, like 12, 13 years ago. So a lot of our connections and the people that we met, it's because we went to PBX like the second year in Vegas. So this is basically like a rebirth of a very similar situation where you have PBX Europe. It's like in its early years. So the people that are showing up to the conference now are going to be the ones that are going to be growing in the next few years. So if you're thinking about going, I mean, don't let the idea of it being new and like still growing stop you from growing. This is the opportunity. It's kind of like when you do bridal shows, when you don't have a lot of people, that's when you're able to connect with everybody. And that's what I experienced in London. I was able to connect with everybody that I don't normally get to when I'm in Vegas. Some of the same vendors.
And that is a really, really key point. And it will get bigger. Yeah, I fully anticipate at this year's show we're going to have over 1,000 people in the room, which is still it's a good size, and it's a long way bigger than kind of, if you took PBX Vegas out of it, it would be the biggest photo booth show in the world. So it's the second biggest photo booth show in the world, and I think we're quite happy to sit there at that. And as you say, it does have a different feel. Ultimately, I've been going to every single Vegas show since 2018. We missed, of course, 2021, and it is busy, it is hectic. But no matter how busy or hectic or however you approach it, you're only going to be able to take away a certain defined number of things that you can then walk away with and put into your business. You're only going to be able to talk to X number of people. And we've got the seminars that we're putting on, got to say they are going to be outstanding, because that is something that Steve and I put very, very high regard in. We've done it for years under our own brand previously. When we look at a seminar program, we really want to hit as many buttons as possible, and we really want to reach to get the best faces that we can into the room. And it's really important to us that people take away stuff that they can enact into their business, because we've done it. We've done this ourselves. We've been to conferences across the world, and we've come away with things and gone, do you know what? If we apply that to our own business, then we're really going to motor. We're really going to grow. So that there's that aspect. And then there's the other aspect of the exhibitors that are there definitely have just that little bit more time to talk to you. And the exhibitors that are there give us feedback that they actually get a little bit more time with people. So they're going to have better quality conversations.
Yeah.
They can strike up better relationships, which is only going to be better for their long-term partnerships with the customers that they're gaining. And, I think the message is it is quieter, but it's not so quiet that it's really not worth going to, because it's absolutely worth going to.
Yeah, always pushing those intimate experiences whenever there's any kind of smaller conference, whether it's momentarily small or universally small, that's designed to be small, like these educational places. Those are always just so impactful and meaningful. So definitely not a reason to shy away. One thing I was maybe embarrassed now to ask, or not to ask, but a misconception I had when I first heard it was in Amsterdam. The first thought that came to my mind is the education in English? Don't they speak Dutch there? Like, I know that London obviously is an English speaking city,
That's a good question, though.
I'm sure that some people out there might be curious of this, like me, but
yeah. No. Ultimately, everybody that speaks needs to learn Dutch. No, I joke. I jest. I mean, it is a great question. It is a great question, and I can only answer it with the seminars will be in English. We will be recording each and every one of them, so that if anybody attends who doesn't have English as a first language or struggles with speaking English, they can then get a hold of that recording and drop it into any translator machine and get it translated. But it's something that Steve and I have seen multiple times, because of course we've been to conferences in Europe. And in fact, when we were looking for the venue for Amsterdam, Steve, Rob, and I went to Germany to IMAC, which is a huge conference, all to do with venues for conferences. And there was a load of seminars on, and every single one of them was delivered in English, and that's in Germany. I think, you know, the reason for that is that English is just, it is a common language, and there's a joke as old as the hills. You know, it's like, how many languages can the English speak? Just one. It's a funny joke, right? But ultimately, it's like, which language do we pick to choose as a second language? There's like so many of them, and English is a second language for so many people. So Steve's got his cats moved in with him.
Adorable.
There you go. You're famous.
We're really excited. We're really excited because one of the biggest things that you hear about people that attend the Vegas show is like the education has not really changed. I mean, I know Rob does a really great job of like putting on amazing people, but a lot of us feel like the education in the Vegas show there's not a heavy focus on it. It's more like conference focus. And we're really excited to hear that PBX Europe is going to be doing things more different. You guys are going to be trying to be
Very education
bringing
forward.
education, trying to teach, you know, business owners more about the business and how to navigate through the industry. So we're really excited about that. Can you tell us a little bit more about like what we're thinking in terms of like the education that you're bringing to the conference?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the thing is with the difference. I mean, just to address that briefly, I think, and I've kind of heard that, and I think what we've got to do on this podcast is acknowledge that each of us is quite advanced in our businesses with photo booths, right? We are really kind of out there in terms of what we're doing. I mean, the sort of stuff that we're quoting in product activations, you wouldn't expect somebody that's fairly new to the photo booth industry to be able to confidently do. And I think that the education that happens in Las Vegas is absolutely primarily aimed at the 70% of attendees who are new.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you start talking about some of the
larger
stuff,
percentage than that,
if you start talking about some of the stuff that we do, it's going to go way over their heads, and they're not really going to gain anything from it. And to a certain extent, you know, we saw that in London as well. And I fully anticipate it being not dissimilar in Europe. But that being said, I think our role in this year, we thought, well, let's just push the envelope. Let's really get the subjects out there. Things like AI, things like really taking your business to the next level through the use of software. Things like, where can you go with a photo booth? Once you've set it up, you take some photographs, what can you then use it for? And to bring in some of the big hitters, the guys, you know, the guys that, I mean, we've got Sam coming. Sam runs multi-million-pound business. You know, the kind of stuff that's going to be covered is going to be really quite advanced, but communicated in a way that just about anybody can understand. May not get their business there yet, but it should inspire them to move into that. And it's kind of, yeah, it's fairly obvious that Steve and I were going to do that from the start, I think, because ultimately the conference that we run over here for our DJs is very professionally minded, really is about, it's the same in the USA, where there are a million DJs out there in the market. But then you've got guys who are really pushing the envelope, taking professionalism to another level. That's the kind of people that we have in the UK that we are catering for. So we thought, well, why don't we try that in the photo booth industry as well to really push the envelope a little bit.
I love that. I love that. When I was new, I did not know what was out there in this industry. So I love how you touch on they might not be able to pitch to these type of events early on, but just being exposed to the fact that there's such a world there, because when I started 13 years ago, I didn't even know how far reaching our industry was and what the industry was capable of. So I love you guys are exposing people. I know when I was in London, I did meet a lot of people that were like fairly new, like under 3 years. So it's great for them to be exposed to that. I've been really blessed where I have been able to meet people who have opened my eyes to it. But having a conference that can showcase stuff like that and and touch on those topics, I think is really great. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I think, I have this conversation with people a lot where kind of people will say over here, well, I don't know if I could actually make a full-time living out of this, right? In both the DJ world and the photo booth world. And, the conversation that I always have is you've got to sort of step out and take time out and reflect and go out and learn and see, because ultimately, in the UK, the entertainment industry is worth £65 billion per year. Now,
what's it in dollars?
In dollars, in dollars, you're looking at somewhere in the region of 75 to 80 billion dollars. Now, if you extrapolated that into the US, I couldn't even tell you what the numbers would be in the USA, but you are probably talking in the order of 5 to 6 times the size of that. So the entertainment industry. So what I'm saying is like you look at it as you're in this silo with this photo booth or with a DJ booth, and that's what you're looking at. But what you should be looking at is that bigger picture out there, that bigger market. And when you're exposed to it and what other people are doing in the sector that you're working in, that then helps you to inform and inspire you to get to where you need to. Everything I've learned, every bit of my business that I've pushed on has been by going through to conferences, seminars in the UK, abroad. I've met people, I've listened to people. I would never miss, even if I was not working in PBX, I would never ever miss it, because you think about all the things that I've gained from each show that I've been to that have transformed and revolutionized my business, my life, the ability for me to have a good family life. Think about all of those things that I've gained from all of those conferences. What if I don't go? What am I going to miss? What bit of information am I going to not hear? And what person am I going to not meet? And you just think that would be tragic, really, when you think about everything that I've gained over the years. To not be able to do that, to not be able to get those connections, to not learn those little nuggets of information that just absolutely transform your life. So, I just think, I'm a real believer in it.
Peter,
it's true. And
go ahead, Jason.
It's something Lap and I mention on the show constantly, because we're so like entrenched in it as well. Like, we met at PBX, and here we are, podcasting 12 years later.
Yeah.
I go on a vacation with about 40 different photo booth companies collectively each year. And those are people that I met at PBX. Like, it's just so many small connections. You have no idea where they're going to go, that you have no clue what you're going to miss out on by missing one of these shows.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Where I was not part of conferences. I didn't even know what networking was, you guys. Just so to put things in perspective for everybody, like I only went to PBX because someone convinced me to go to help them at a booth. I really thought it was just a conference where you're just selling equipment. I never imagined 13 years down the line that we would have strong relationships, friendships, podcasts. Like, when you're talking about it changing your life, I don't know if everybody really understands how much you don't anticipate this. I mean, like, little conversations. I know when I met Steven, I was just checking in in London, and I remember just chatting it up with him, no idea who he was. And, here we are, like, on our podcast a year later talking about PBX Europe. I mean, those connections, they seem so tiny, but they really do pave the path of a whole different life that you don't anticipate. So when I started with the booth, I did not know what this industry is about. I never thought I would grow as big as I did, but those connections allowed me to see how big this industry was, and I was able to scale up because of that. So I always get people asking me, like, Lap, PBX Europe is coming up. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I always want to pull my hair out. I love everybody, but I always want to pull my hair out, because what do you mean, is it worth it? Why are you even asking? Like, networking is key to, like, growth. Networking, you learn, you grow, all the relationships that you build at every opportunity that you meet somebody, it makes a world of a difference. It changes you. So, Peter, when you're talking about, like, it changed your family life, your home life, it's, like, so understated the way you're saying it, because it really does transform your life. just that one person can change the whole path of your entire life. Going to PBX Europe sounds like such a small thing. Like, is it worth it? Am I, should I go check out the conference? It's the same vendors. It's not about the
It
vendors.
sounds like an amazing thing.
It's not about the vendors, but it is about the vendors because you'll be able to connect. I mean, like, I was able to meet companies that, are in Vegas every single year, but they were able to like go deep in their software and have deep discussions that I didn't even plan for. It's not like I was sitting there. I'm not one of those people who ask crazy questions, but because you have that time and they're able to show you a lot more capabilities, things like that. And it grows like your opportunity. It grows your network. It allows you to grow as a business person. And I wish I could put it better in words. Like, Peter, I know you said a lot about life, but it really, like, if you guys see how excited I am, it's because it really transformed my own life, and I never anticipated any of this.
Yeah. I mean, my background, my personal background, without going into it too much, is I come from the corporate world, right? And at the start of each year, I would sit down with my line manager, and we would set out targets as to what I was going to achieve for the business, but also what my development was. And my question is to anybody that owns a photo booth business or anything allied to it is, how are you developing yourself as a person? How are you finding out more about your job, your equipment, the people that manufacture it, the services that are available? And that's one part of it. Then the next part is you're going to go and see all of those people. You're going to learn all this stuff from these seminars, but you're going to meet people in the hallways, and that's actually much, much bigger. And then the bit that we haven't touched on. So, to you guys, Las Vegas probably isn't impossible, incredible place that you get to visit. For me, going to Las Vegas because of work, the first time was just like, wow, I'm actually going to Las Vegas in the USA for work. And guess what? It's tax deductible because it is a business expense. And I'm going to go and see a different part of the world. And the same is true, of Amsterdam. It's a pretty major city. It's a stunning city. It really is. It's absolutely beautiful. Incredible history, incredible architecture. The culture is out of this world. And it's worth a visit. So being able to go and see other places, to go and experience different and go and learn about your business, develop yourself, hear from people in the same industry. Even if it's just that conversation where you go, oh, do you know what happened to me last week? And somebody else will then say, yeah, that's happened to me before as well. I found a way of getting around that by doing this. Straight away, you're in a more comfortable place, right? And all of that is in one visit, and you just have no idea where it could go. But it would never, ever, ever, ever be a waste of time, because it's a tax deductible investment. You're traveling the world.
Which is awesome.
You're getting to meet people. Which is awesome. And I mean, I love traveling. To be able to do it for work, wow.
Amsterdam, come on,
yeah. I mean, is as much as I love London, Amsterdam, it's an incredible city. It really is, and a lovely place to spend some time. So great environment, great learning environment.
And I've
you'll get to
learned through the years that the people that show up to the people that invest in themselves to show up to like conferences and educational seminars and things like that, they are the people you want to surround yourself with. Those are the ones that are going to push you, even if you don't learn, which is almost impossible to not learn something from somebody. Everybody has something to teach you. But even if, let's say, worst case scenario, you actually don't learn anything from them, they are going to push you to do things that you might not even have imagined pushing yourself to do. So, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, people who are driven, people who have like big goals, I mean, that'll push you to do things, so you want to be in these places with like-minded people. The opportunity is there. And I feel like a lot of people, and this is me speaking out of my own personal, the way I am, is like, I'm very timid. I know I don't come off like I'm shy, but I'm very timid and anxious when it comes to like going to places that, like, for PBX London and Vegas, I was thinking, I don't know anybody. Do I really want to go? I'm not going to have anybody to talk to. And when you go, you just realize our community is just, we embrace everybody. So if you don't know anybody, by the time you leave, you'll know everybody, so it's to your benefit to go and network, to meet people. Hi, Greg. Hi. Give me a second, you guys.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I mean, just picking up on what Lab was saying there, the ability to build a network with people from all over the world is second to none of these shows. So yeah, absolutely.
On that note of all over the world, I know that Rob also often will mention how many countries are at PBX in Vegas, and I'm sure you're seeing a lot of those same numbers as well. But obviously, in Vegas, the massive number, probably 95%, are from the U.S. Where are you seeing most of your visitors come from?
Well, so the London show, and I think we're pretty much seeing, it's a little bit early to tell in terms of the overall profile at the moment. It's pretty much the same in that you get the London show. We had a lot of people from the UK, but I would
I wanted
say
to Greg stopping by, so I wanted him to just jump in. He's setting up
hello, Greg.
Marquee Letters with us today. He does photo booth, Marquee Letters, also a DJ. Yeah, we're talking about
Okay.
PBX Amsterdam.
Yeah. So yeah, and there are people from all over the world who attend, and it never ceases to amaze me just how far they come. I saw an inquiry, a question from somebody who's considering travelling over from Malaysia today. So yeah, and I mean in London we were surrounded by people who had come from all over the world, and I think probably the furthest was the guy. Where did he come? I think it was Trinidad, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, Trinidad.
Yeah. Rishi came from Trinidad, which is a very long way out of London and probably not the easiest trip to make, I would have thought. But we see people from all corners of the earth. Yeah,
Now, we've already had
as you're doing,
registrations,
yeah.
but we've already had registrations from UK, USA, Poland, Germany, Estonia. The list goes on. It's quite scary where people are flooding to PBX Europe from.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So with PBX Europe, so last year, like we mentioned, you were in London. This year, you're in Amsterdam. Is Amsterdam the home, or is this going to be like a traveling show, finding a new location every year?
I don't anticipate it personally. I don't anticipate it moving out of Amsterdam for the foreseeable future right now. That's not to say that it won't. I think so. Some of the things that are really, really important, I think, and stand out for me in terms of being able to have a successful show is one, you need it to be an attractive city, so that people are coming for the show, absolutely. But there kind of needs to be that secondary reason, and this is a big reason as to why PBX is so very big. It's not the only photo booth stroke DJ conference in the USA.
Sure.
But for the sorts of businesses that attend, it's the biggest by far.
Yeah, there's a reason that Las Vegas is the conference capital of the U.S. because it's just so much easier to pull attendees. People want
It's
to
a
go to
destination
Vegas.
city.
It's a destination city. So that was quite important to us. And London is definitely a destination city, as is Paris. That's when you say Paris to people, they get quite excited about it. But Amsterdam, they absolutely do. And then another thing that is really quite important, and this is something that Steve and I talked about from the outset, is it needs to be easy to get to. So when we talked about a show in Europe, we talked about it. Our first shot was London, because London is a hub. It's very easy to get to. It acts as a springboard for both the east and the west, because it's just that ideal landing point. Heathrow in London is a really, really busy airport. Now, from numbers that I've looked at before, and I don't know whether my numbers are right now, but certainly was the case that London Heathrow was the busiest airport in Europe, second only to London Heathrow, and the closest, not far behind and a long way in front of any other city, was Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. So it's a very easy airport to get to from any part of the world. And that is really, really important, because we do get a lot of international visitors. You want to make it easy for them to get in. And Amsterdam is a very easy city to get into. So it's got to be kind of a destination city. And Amsterdam is. There are, it's like Las Vegas. It's what you make of it. Las Vegas to me is definitely not what Las Vegas is to other people. And it's going to be the same for Amsterdam.
I also think being in a key city like Amsterdam, and being able to join that up with other trips. You can go to France, you can go to London. You know, they're really easy flights. I think Lap, you even done that last year.
Yes, I did. I did it without planning to. So I was in London and I was like, oh my gosh, it's only like an hour max, 2 hours to like almost any destination in Europe. So I actually had a hard time trying to decide where to stop. I stopped in Paris a few days before and I was trying to stop somewhere else like afterwards, but I ended up exploring London. So I was like, I'll just check out. I mean, there's so much in London to check out. I imagine Amsterdam is going to be like that too.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you guys though, like, I know you guys have a few hotels that you guys contracted with, that I believe we have room blocks for, but can you talk about, because I know this has came up a few times, like, can you talk about like the benefits of like one hotel over the next, because they're not on site like the way Vegas is. They're separate locations, and I'm hearing that one is closer to like the city center, one's closer to like the subway system. Maybe you can talk about that for listeners who are like looking to book their boarding.
I also hear that one or maybe even two are already don't have rooms available.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I got that from our booking agent only yesterday, funny enough.
Yeah, we tried to book our room and there wasn't a room available. So I'm trying to call to find out if I call if I'll get any different results. But we tried booking directly online, and then we went through the PBX website and heard the same thing, that there is actually I think 2 hotels now that don't have rooms. So we're trying to call, but after that I don't know. We'll just start Googling, I guess.
Yeah, Google's your friend. There's loads and loads of hotels locally. I think the biggest difference between Amsterdam, London versus Las Vegas and a lot of the US is the hotels are much, much smaller. Like the room 70, 80, 100 rooms, and that is the hotel. Like we compare that to South Point and it's thousands of rooms.
Yeah.
So they do get full really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think probably the thing to touch on there is that whatever hotel you find yourself, the venue itself is really, really easy to get to. The transport system in Amsterdam is incredibly easy, very, very cheap, and you know it's a bit like Las Vegas. There will be a hotel room very, very close to the exhibition center that you can get into. There absolutely will. But there will also be hotel rooms in the center of Amsterdam. So when you go to PBX Las Vegas, do you stay at South Point or do you stay on the Strip? That's a personal choice, you know, and it's going to be the same of our show, really. You can stay very close to the center, to the expo center, or you can stay more in the town. It just means that you're going to either travel to the town or you're going to travel to the expo center. Our show is for 2 days. It takes place on a Sunday and Monday. The thought is that we will probably expand that and move it more into the week for the following year.
How early is the expo opening on those days? What are the expo run times?
Steve, remind me of these key times that I should have at the top of my head.
So I think we're talking about doing education separate to the expo so that we don't have an overlap. So the vendors, exhibitors don't lose people from the show floor. And so we're going to do 8 till 12 for seminars on both days. And then the show floor will open 12 till 5:30 or on the second day, I think a little bit later on the first day. And then we're going to do a network mixer sponsored by our gold sponsor Touch Picks on the Sunday night.
Nice.
And then throughout the day, there'll be master classes as well going on. So like your seminar will be in the morning, and then there'll be master classes throughout the day after the education, so that master classes and show floor are open at the same time.
So we mentioned the Expo Center a couple times, but there's actually a little bit of confusion there. So we should probably clarify that. So when I was looking for a hotel on ChatGPT, Chat was 100% convinced that the show was at RAI. And then I started talking to people on Facebook, and there's even local people there that also spoke about what you want to make sure it's someplace close to RAI. So it sounds like multiple people feel like it's at RAI. And then when I was talking to Ursula, I learned that it's at someplace called Greater Expo Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Expo Greater Amsterdam. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing in Amsterdam is that the RAI is the go-to, a bit like Las Vegas is the go-to convention center. Everyone thinks as soon as you say Amsterdam, that's where it is, but it's definitely not there.
Yeah. So just want anyone listening, don't base your hotel near RAI, despite what ChatGPT says. That the expo will not be at RAI.
Yeah, well, that's interesting to hear that.
Is there a subway stop or is there public transportation that stops near where the expo is? Or should our listeners be considering renting? Okay, there.
There's a bus stop right outside. Right
okay.
outside, there's a bus stop. There's a bus stop right outside. It's got huge car parks if you decide to rent a car, and that's definitely an option in Amsterdam, particularly for you guys because they, like you, drive on the wrong side of the road.
I didn't know that.
I was going to ask about that. Do you need a license to be able to drive on that?
So they are they the only one like that? That's
I'd be
I didn't
so
know anyone
confused.
over there drove on the same side as us. I thought we were kind of isolated in our backwardness.
No. Pretty much all of Europe drive on the wrong side of the road. It's us that are the odd ones out. It's us that are the odd ones out. And I don't know. I genuinely don't know why that is. Yeah, it's when we go. So interestingly, Rob's coming over this month in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks time.
2 weeks.
And there we go. And we're going to go because he's going to be in a part of the UK that is very, very close to. I don't know if you've heard of the Channel Tunnel. Okay, it's a tunnel that goes from England to France and it goes under the sea, and it's somewhere around about 25 miles long.
Wow.
And you can drive your car onto a train, and then the train will take you and your car underneath the sea, and then you'll get out the other side.
Wow.
So yeah, so because of where Rob's staying, we're going to do that with him. We're going to take him on a day trip to France, take him out for dinner.
Working business
Weirdly,
trip, get it right.
And it's a business trip. It's a business trip. Yeah, sorry. We're going on a business trip. Just in case anybody from the Inland Revenue is listening. But yeah, so we're gonna take him for a day trip to France, and when we get over there, it's gonna feel like home for him because all the cars are going to be on the wrong side of the road. Despite the fact that you've literally done a 35-minute train journey. You swap to the other side. And Steve and I were talking about it because weirdly, Steve has never been to France or never driven in France, and or driven on that side of the road in a car that has the steering wheel on our side, because of course that's another thing to think about.
And that would be so confusing.
I've done it many times.
Weird. Steering wheel on the right, drive on the left. No.
Yeah. Speaking of business trips, I am going to come in a few days early and go over to Paris for 3 or 4 days. So if anyone wants to meet up that's listening for dinner so that we could write off my Paris trip, let me know.
George wants in.
Yeah.
That is a definite thing to do. If you're coming the distance that you're going to somewhere like Paris is
come a couple extra
so
days.
easy. Yeah.
It is so simple. Paris, London,
Spain.
parts of Italy.
I'm looking at Spain.
Spain is a wonderful country. Pro tip here: Barcelona. Wow, you'll be absolutely blown away by Barcelona. Love Barcelona. It's
decide.
Yeah. There is so much choice, and the cultures are so different, so very different. It's just incredible. But yeah.
What is that, coaches? Is that
love
like the train? Is that equivalent to like a train? Is that what we're talking about?
Sorry, I've got lost there.
Oh, you said coach. The coach is so different.
No. Sorry, culture.
Oh, the culture.
The culture.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's my English accent. Yeah. Yeah. Now you'll find Paris and Barcelona for me are two major cities that are must see. They are must see.
Paris is amazing.
And they are both incredible and so very, very different. It's incredible, and if you are religious, Barcelona, don't miss it. It's a beautiful city with the most incredible church. It's just out of this world. It really is.
I'm not religious, but man, I love churches and I love church history. All churches are so just rich and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Can I ask you guys for the expo? I feel like this is something that people are probably wondering. Like, In terms of like the vendors, can we anticipate like similar vendors, or can we anticipate some vendors that we might not be seeing in the US? Or like, can you give us a better understanding of like what to expect and like what we're going to see on the expo floor itself?
Yeah. So first and foremost, you're going to see some of the same vendors that you see in Vegas. So people like OrcaView, Snappic, TouchPix. These are guys that you would see in Las Vegas and you see at every show. And they're major players. And quite rightly, they're at our show. They're in Vegas year in, year out.
Just have long lines in Vegas to talk to.
Yeah. But then there are a lot of brands that you would never have seen in Las Vegas that are probably coming to their first show. And we've still got not loads of months. We've still got a few months to go, and we will be joined by others as well. People that haven't been, that will have products that you will never have seen, that will have software that you won't have seen. And it's worth going to that alone. And that's another great thing about being able to do what we're doing, is we're going to be able to get more local people who may even consider exhibiting in Las Vegas, but who knows? But you will certainly see people that you haven't seen before, but you will definitely see those big names. Probably have a little bit more time to talk to them. And what we're also trying to do is
more time.
we're trying to put things around it so that you can, the kind of the networking thing we're doing on the Sunday is going to be really informal and relaxed, an ability for people to just catch up over a beer and do it in a way that it is very network centric, as opposed to, I think one of the things that I mean, Steve will probably testify to this, but I'm a bit of an old man and a whinger when it comes to, let's go and like fill a room with the biggest speaker system possible and have a networking event that way, and like really loud music. And I can't actually talk to anybody. I can't hear myself think.
I must be an old man too.
Yeah, I just think,
I'll be standing outside the door and complain about it. Complain about all those kids in there.
Yeah. I mean, if it's 11 o'clock and I'm 4 beers in, then hey, like I'm ready to party myself. But at 8:30 in the evening, no, I want to catch up. I want to talk to people. I want to chill out. I want to, talk about the stuff that we've learned that day, that people have picked up, the products that people have seen. And that's what we're doing then. And then if you want to go on and party, well, hop on a bus and get into town, and there'll be plenty of party. There is lots of party in Amsterdam.
It's Amsterdam. You're going to be partying till 5, 6 in the morning if you want, no problem.
Well, yeah, and beyond. But
then just wake up and come to a seminar 2 hours later.
Yeah, I feel like with Boothers, there's no time, there's no bedtime either. So it doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You'll find someone who wants to go explore the city with you.
Yeah.
Fall in a canal.
No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Yeah.
See,
he's going through his list of
I think
questions.
those are the questions that I have about the expo. I mean, just like the hotels, I think the common one is like, if they want to be closer to the city, what hotel is like best for being close to the city, and then what hotel is like closer to the expo center.
When I spoke to the team, Pete and Rob, we talked about hotels, and we picked a couple near the airport, one near the venue, and one closer to town. There's
Which
2.
one's near
They're on the
airport?
website. Oh, I don't know. There's 2. Let me look on the other screen. Let me load that. But the biggest thing for us was easy to get to. So there's one literally outside the venue, which is pretty much fully booked, if not fully booked. And then there's 2 by the hotel. There's the Hilton Amsterdam and the Holiday Inn Express, both at the airport. And then you've got the 300 bus that goes from the airport all the way past the venue to Haarlem. And that bus runs every 8 to 9 minutes. So you can literally go from the airport to the venue. And then if you want to stay in town that night, you jump on the same bus outside the venue, go to Haarlem, get 1 train, 2 stops, you're in Amsterdam. What did it take us, Pete, when we done it? 25
minutes tops to the center of Amsterdam from the expo
sounds
center.
From your recommendation, it sounds pretty safe, the buses.
Oh yeah, no, we were fine on the buses. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy, very safe. Dutch people are wonderful. They really are. The one thing I've always noticed whenever I go to Amsterdam is the guys are tall. They're just so tall. It's really weird. When you walk around Amsterdam and you look at the guys, you think, they've
My
really
brother,
taken some growth pills. Yeah.
my brother-in-law is from Holland. Yeah, he's tall.
They're really tall. It's like it really because I've never thought I've never thought of myself as tall, but I've certainly never thought of myself as short. But when I'm walking around Amsterdam, boy, I feel short. But they are
I never knew.
such wonderful people. It's such a great city. It really is. And it is a 24-hour city. And yeah, it's a
Oh,
party
that's
city.
awesome.
It's the home of EDM or electronic dance music.
I didn't know that. And
Yeah,
I was actually born in Holland, but I left very young, and I'm not Dutch.
Right.
It was a military base, so I've never been back. So anxious to see the
Yeah.
where I lived as an infant.
Do we have
There
any?
are incredible music venues. Sorry, go on.
Do we have any recommendations for like what to pack for the trip, like weather-wise? Like what can we anticipate for our trip? Like what should we be bringing? Like warm clothes, cool clothes, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I would say that it's not going to be cold, so you're not expecting it to be chilly, as it were. But it's where it is and the latitude that it's on could be not hot. It could be very hot, and it could rain at times.
Peter, you gave me no answer.
Yeah.
It could be hot.
What
It could be
London
not
was
hot. It
like.
could be dry. It could be wet.
Just
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
I'm trying
So
to.
London caught me off guard for that. I didn't expect the rain almost every day. I didn't expect to have to check the weather every single day for the possibility of rain. So I was not prepared for that, you guys. I literally brought nothing for rain weather, and I woke up in the morning thinking it was gonna be sunshine because that's what it's like in California.
No.
So
No. It is. Yeah.
according to the other screen, we have a high of 15 degrees Celsius. Now I don't know what that is in your world, but I'll
What's
work
that
that out.
meaning?
Why do you have to
That
do
means
this
nothing
stupid
to me.
Fahrenheit stuff in F? So that is 59. That's the high. And then in the low, in the evening, it will drop to about half of that, 46. And it says that it rains for about 12 days in October, which is about 30% of the month.
That's October.
So
You
it
want to
really
look at
depends.
well, yeah,
September.
yeah,
Depends on
yeah.
what.
September's
September.
10 days and then 19 during the day. So that brings it up to 66.
Yeah, Peter
It's
said
not
it won't be
awful.
chilly, but people in Vegas start putting on a hoodie when it's like 80 degrees. So
Right, in which case, bring
Right. So
hoodies.
bring a
it's pretty
hoodie.
chilly for me.
Bring a hoodie. Bring a raincoat. Look, I mean, from what the numbers that Steve's talking about, you've got like 1 in 3, or at worst case 1 in 2. Chance of it raining on a day.
Oh my gosh, that's so different for me. But yeah, I kind of got used to it while I was there.
Yeah.
There's going
Look, I mean,
to be me and Pete chilling out in t-shirts and shorts, and you guys wrapped up like Eskimos,
Like
yeah?
freezing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, your climate is unusual, believe it or not. And I'm sure there are people in say New York who probably will be more comfortable with that kind of weather. Seattle, places like that. But your weather, and for people in Texas, it's going to come as a bit of a culture shock, really. The weather can be very, very changeable, but for me, that's part of the attraction. It's I don't know personally how you could go a day without having something like the weather to talk about, because we talk about the weather all the time. And you guys, you've got nothing to talk about.
We do not
What's
talk
the weather
about the
like? Hey,
weather.
it's beautiful.
Sunny.
It's sunny. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
It's sunny.
It's sunny. Yeah. But whereas for us, we can have anything from a cyclone to blazing hot sunshine to hailstone in the space of 3 hours. So
That's
you know,
wild. Okay,
yeah,
that's good to know.
but it's fun. It's fun. I like our seasons. I like our climate. But I don't mind when we visit Vegas and it's beautiful and sunny.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. I haven't gone yet. I'm really excited. Last year, I had planned to go. I wasn't able to buy tickets until the very last minute because our Octobers are incredibly busy in Las Vegas. It's the best season of the year is October. And as we got closer, it just became more and more apparent that there is no way I was going to be able to break away. And Lap had to venture off on her own and do her own thing. So I'm glad that it's not in October, first of all. So I don't know if that's something that you guys are looking at changing away every year, but my vote is no more Octobers because
it was
it's
tough.
really hard.
It was tough to do it in October.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same for us. We are phenomenally busy in October, and the show in October is sometimes it's
Hard
a
to
little bit
juggle.
dictated by the venue, and we try and plan as far ahead as possible so that we secure the dates that we want, and it's not always easy to get exactly what you want because any expo center, anywhere that's got the sort of size that we're looking at that it needs to have availability, and that they're going to be busy venues. They're going to be popular. So it's not always easy to get our first choice dates. The last year's in London, although it worked, it wasn't our first choice for dates, definitely.
Yeah.
But
So what are your ideal dates if you could choose any time of year?
I would pretty much where we are, that last sort of week, maybe 10 days of September, that last bit of September, really, because, you don't want to do anything that covers August at all.
Just because of the weather?
Well, because of the fact that it's major holiday season. Everybody's on holiday. And you get into September and businesses are starting to get going for the rest of the year. You're starting to gear up for the busiest part of the year. Quarter four is always for most businesses, quarter four is the busiest time of the year. So September, you're gearing up for it.
November.
Once you get into October, November, December. Wow.
December, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what December's like for you guys. I mean, for us, it's off the scale mad.
Yeah, incredibly
off
busy.
the scale.
I'd say
October
probably
is
25% of our business is in December.
Yeah, and October is second. October is second busiest month, and I remember when I went to London, I struggled. I almost didn't go because I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna make this happen, but I just did not sleep. I just did not sleep that first 2 or 3 weeks. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get where you need to go.
Yeah. Look, it's difficult. Doing that is difficult.
And I feel no matter what kind of Lap is in, if I say the words PBX London, she completely changes around and gets excited. So it is giving me a lot of energy, and I'm really excited to go to Amsterdam just from Lap's impression of London last year. So she is
you
the number
literally-
one
you-
endorser.
Yeah,
ambassador.
you make it as amazing as you want to make it, though. I feel like, I mean, there's people that go to PBX Vegas and I've met some people that have said they only go just to the expo floor and then they go back to their room at the end of the night and they don't get anything from it. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to go out there. You have to meet people. You have to talk to people. So you have to make the most of the time that you have. So it could be a bust, but that would be on you. It would be on you if it's a bust. So you got to make sure you take full advantage of like where you're at, the people that are around you, the opportunity that's there, the vendors. Like go out there, don't hide in your room, don't turn down if someone invites you out for coffee. Even if you're tired, just go. That's the thing. Like taking full, you never know where that's going to lead to, especially like with me and Jason, our podcast.
Yeah.
So this will be published, I believe, August 8th, the first Wednesday of August. So we'll only be like 2 months away from PBX Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Europe.
less than that.
Less than that when this.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your tickets yet, go get your tickets. If you haven't made plans yet, make some plans. Reach out. I'm sure there people are going to be making some party plans and stuff already. I don't think Lap and I are going to create the communication platform like we did Vegas. We had mixed reports about that or feelings about that. So, but hook up with us. We'll hang out. We'll get drinks. And as far as I'm sure we missed some questions. So if anyone has any follow-up questions, Stephen, Peter, how do they get a hold of you or whoever answers questions for PBX Europe?
So we're relatively easy to get hold of. The best thing to do is to find our website. So photoboothexpo.eu. go straight to there, and there's contact us on there. Get us through that. That's going to be the easiest portal for everybody, because obviously you can find all about the show as well. So yeah, and just drop us a message on there, and it comes to both of us.
Perfect. We'll be seeing you guys in a couple months. And again, if anyone's thinking about going, just go, and let's hook up in Amsterdam or Paris a few days before that.
Or Spain.
Yeah.
You never know where you're at.
Italy, wherever you want to go.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah,
Paris. So you make your own plans for Italy.
Yeah, we'll see you at the Eiffel Tower.
Peter, Stephen, thank you for joining us. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts, if there's anything that we missed. I think we got pretty much most topics.
Yeah, I think we've got everything. Thank you very much for having us on. It's been a lot of fun, and we really look forward to seeing you and, you know, all of your viewers, all of your connections over in Amsterdam. Can't wait for the show. Really, just keep an eye on the website. Keep an eye on our communications. There will be more stuff coming out. It's getting more and more exciting. And there's a couple of things that we're talking about at the moment that are going to be firsts for PBX. So yeah, I'm planning a mega thing around the dates of the show itself. So yeah, keep your eyes open. Look
That's
at the
exciting.
communications.
I like mega things.
Yeah. This is. I'm quite excited about this.
We always get teasers. We always get teasers.
I'm keeping it under my hat a little bit at the moment, simply because of the fact that I haven't finalised the agreement with everybody on our side. But it's an idea I came up with, and it's, you know, stopping me from sleeping at the moment. I'm so excited about it, but
Can't wait to find out.
we'll update you in due course.
Bombshell.
Yeah.
So anybody
Good to see
who is
everybody.
on the fence, you guys, anybody who's on the fence, just stop thinking about it. Just turn off your brain and just go. Just go. It will be to your benefit. If you're on the fence, because I know a lot of you, some of you are on the fence. If you're on the fence, just do what I do. Just be like, just go. Just do it. Just book your plane ticket and then go. You will not regret it.
Yeah, you will definitely not find out what could have happened if you haven't gone.
You'll never know what was keeping Peter up at night if you don't.
Yeah, you'll never know that. You'll never know that. And believe me, you'll miss out.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Great seeing you. Thanks very much.
To keep the conversation going, join our Facebook group, Pro Booth Talk Community. If you enjoyed this podcast, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking, reviewing, or sharing this topic with someone in the industry.